Hey guys, this is Talia from Little Miss Sunshine. What do you think of my display? I tried to make it more subtle and whatnot, so I'm not blinding you. I would hate to scare my viewers away. Also, by the way, you look fabulous today. Today, I'm letting Doctor be in the same room with me because if I don't, he is just going to be that background noise, constantly clawing at the door, begging for attention. Is he a brat? Yes, but he's my baby. Speaking of cats, I've had this idea for a while. Having a combination of my two favorite things. Cats, being a cat lady, and sunflowers. What also loves sunflowers? Bees. So I am going to create a cat and a bumblebee to create a BumbleKitten. Oh my goodness. And that's about it. Before I go, if you like this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. I would like to get to know you guys. And yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, to start this video, I wanted to do a painting first because what I have envisioned is a cute little thing instead of cute and creepy or something that'll haunt your dreams. And lo and behold, she is just so cute. It is official. She is going to be a doll. She's going to be a doll. I'm going to start off by applying the polymer clay onto the tinfoil with thin layers. Not only will this method help bake the clay evenly, but it'll save you money, aka tinfoil is your best friend. Right now I'm using sculpting tools to shape out a rough idea of what I'm dealing with. As you can see, I'm sculpting out the eyeballs instead of using cabochons as the eyeballs because I don't have the right size for this head shape. So make one yourself it is then. I got to admit that this is one of the best parts, sculpting out the kitty's lip, because most of the time they always look like they're smiling. Even though we all know that's not always the case. They do always look like that they're plotting something. They are cute but evil. Okay, so here's the thing when it comes to the eyes. I was using a reference of a kitten bronze sculpture. Now hear me out. I was trying to find a reference of a proper structure behind the fluff. I did do a Google search over a hairless cat. I don't know about you. I personally find them creepy. What I was trying to say is that I gave my cat eyelid. Now since this is a bumble cat, I'm giving it antennas. As you can see, I am poking holes so the wire can easily slide right in. Now, we're back to the eyelid topic. It'll be quick, I promise. I was taking a closer look to the head, and I realized that it's not cute enough. And it wasn't until I was taking a closer look to Doctor, and it dawned on me, all of his fluff is covering his eyelids. So I went ahead and got rid of the eyelid. Is it possible that I was overthinking this? Yes, it is. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to use some wire for the antennas. It's just as simple as cutting out a certain length and copy that same length and sticking them into the holes. Then I'm going to use some clay to round out the end. Now for the ears, I figured since this is a smaller head sculpture compared to my previous ones, it doesn't really need a structural support. So I just went ahead and traced it, cut it, and apply it. I didn't really do anything fancy to the paws other than giving the proper amount of toes, which is 4. After that was done, I baked them all in the oven for about 225 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. After they're all freshly baked, I am going to apply paint to the clay before anything else. With this method, it'll help me better understand where I want to place my fur, and if there's any patches that I miss, the gray color isn't going to peek through and just ruin everything. So yeah, this method seems to work out for me. There are certain features I wish I would have applied the UV resin before I applied the fur. Oh well, let's move on to the next step. Right after we apply these toe beans. Can't forget about your toe beans. Next up is putting together this armature with the connectors and have a moment of silence with this ASMR. Ooh, fancy. Now let's get the tail. All I'm doing is wrapping up some wire and wrapping it to the armature. Now we're off to the quilt batting, and also a perfect lounge for the kiddies, and also, well, keep me company. Now, what you and the cats are witnessing is I am cutting quilt battings into strips so I could properly wrap my armature around to give it that nice, proper fluffiness, while using a hot glue gun to help keep the batting in place. Now for this next step, I am hand sewing the faux fur. Now instead of you watching that part, we're gonna do a magic trick. With that done, it's time for a haircut. Now before I do anything, I always brush out the fur because it makes it easier to shave or cut. Now when I'm shaving, I am using a pet shaver to get those even lengths around the fur. Now as I work my way around it, I'm using a pair of scissors to trim a certain length I want, especially around the legs, the tails, and the face.
Aw, he's smiling at you. Alright, let's try and find the eyes.
Now it's time for airbrushing. I swear I have a love-hate relationship with this method. It is a bit stressful, however, I do love the results. Now it's time for the eyes. To be honest with you, I wish I would have done this before I apply all the fur. I mean, I've seen other artists do this, and I'm sure that there is a reason why they do this after they apply the fur. Maybe you guys could explain this to me, but the resin ended up getting stuck in the fur, and it's all clumpy and everything, and I had to go back later on to trim it off. Now it's time to make her wings. I am tracing on plexiglass that is 1/8 of a thickness, so I could give it the proper dimension. That looks like it'll support the kitty's weight, and that they also look like wings that belong to a bee. I originally used this tool to do my nails, but this seems to work out too. Now don't worry, I'm not using the same sandpaper. I got rid of that once I was done. Now here, I'm applying varnish to the wings. Now I'm sorry to inform you, but I forgot to hit the record button when I painted the wings. I am cutting a hole to where I could place the wings, and now it is time for glamour shots.